Hello and a very warm welcome back to Sleep Geography. It is so wonderful to have you here with us again. Now is the time to let the day and all its cares melt away. Find your coziest spot, whether you're tucked into bed or resting in your favourite chair. Adjust your pillows, pull up your blanket, and allow your body to feel heavy, safe, and still. As you settle in, I always love to read where in the world you're joining me from. Feel free to leave a gentle comment, sharing your little corner of the globe. It is a beautiful reminder that while we may be far apart, we can all find rest under the same quiet sky. Tonight, our minds will drift to a land of snowy peaks and silent green valleys, of crystal lakes and air as pure as a dream. We are letting our awareness float peacefully towards the heart of Europe, to the calm majesty of Switzerland. If you find a sense of peace here with us on these journeys, a gentle tap on the subscribe button ensures we can travel together again. It is a quiet, simple way to support our shared space of rest. So, close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a slow, deep breath and let our journey to Switzerland begin. You're drifting in the deep, quiet dark. There is no sense of up or down, only a feeling of weightless ease, a gentle suspension in an endless velvet space. Below you, the gentle curve of the earth is a soft blue and white marble, sleeping under a thin blanket of atmosphere. The world is silent from this great height. The noise, the rush, the endless motion. It is all a distant memory, a story from another lifetime. Here, there is only peace. Your awareness begins its slow, unhurried descent, a feather drifting towards a sleeping world. You are drawn toward the heart of a sleeping continent, toward a place where the land reaches up to touch the sky. As you drift closer, the first hint of morning begins to paint the edge of the world. It is not a sudden light, but a slow bloom of colour, a deep bruised purple that softens into lavender along the planet's delicate rim. This soft light grows, and you watch, suspended in the stillness, as a thread of impossible gold appears. It is the sun, its first rays spilling over the horizon, catching the highest, thinnest layers of air. The light travels silently across the sleeping landmass below, a wave of liquid gold pouring over dark forests and unseen plains. You are still so high that the details of the world are lost, but you can see the light revealing the texture of the continent, and in its very centre, it catches upon something immense. It is a colossal spine of mountains, a jagged, magnificent ripple in the Earth's crust. This is your destination. The first light of day finds them before it finds anything else. The highest, most remote peaks ignite in a soft, rosy glow. This is the Alpine glow, a fleeting, sacred light that kisses the snow and ice, turning the harsh, cold stone into something warm and ethereal. From your vantage point, it looks as though a handful of pink diamonds have been scattered across the darkness. Your descent continues, slow and graceful. You're sinking now towards a vast, unbroken sea of white. It is a blanket of clouds, covering the world below like a soft, downy comforter. It stretches from one horizon to the other, a pure and perfect wilderness of vapour. The peaks of the Alps rise from this sea like islands, their newly gilded tips the only sign of the world they anchor. There is no sound up here but the profound, resonant silence of the upper atmosphere, a quiet so deep it feels like a presence. You begin to sink into the cloud bank. The feeling is one of passing through cool, clean mist. There is no turbulence, no resistance, just a gentle passage from the clear, starlit dark into a world of diffuse, grey-white softness. The light of the rising sun is scattered and softened here. Everything is gentle, indistinct. The air itself feels soft against your skin, thick with peaceful moisture. The silence deepens, muffled by the endless layers of cloud. It is a place between worlds, a pause in the journey, a moment of pure tranquility. And then, just as gently as you entered, you emerge below. The world opens up before you. The view is so vast, so staggeringly beautiful, that it stills the mind. You're hanging in the clear, crisp air, and beneath you, the entirety of the Swiss Alps unfurls. The sea of clouds you just passed through is now a soft white ceiling far above, and the morning sun, now higher in the sky, streams through gaps in the clouds, sending down great golden shafts of light that move slowly across the landscape. You have arrived. Before you lies a kingdom of stone and ice, of shadow and light, a landscape sculpted by time and profound stillness. The air here is different. It is thin and so clean it feels as though you have never truly breathed before. You take a slow, deep breath, and the air is cold and sharp in your lungs, a feeling of pure, vital energy. It carries no scent of cities or soil, only the clean, mineral scent of ancient rock and frozen water. Look out across the panorama. See the endless procession of peaks. They are not all the same. Some are sharp, jagged daggers of dark granite that tear at the sky, their faces too steep to hold the snow. They are stark and dramatic, their black rock a stark contrast to the brilliant white that surrounds them. Other mountains are older, their shoulders rounded by millennia of wind and ice, their slopes gentler, more welcoming. They wear their blankets of snow like heavy royal robes. Notice the texture of the snow itself. On the highest wind-scoured ridges, it is packed hard, gleaming like polished marble in the morning sun. In the sheltered bowls and couloirs, it is deep, soft powder, its surface a perfect, untouched canvas of white. The sunlight makes it sparkle with a million tiny points of light, a field of diamonds scattered across the colossal forms. The sheer whiteness of it all is absolute, a purity that quiets the mind and soothes the soul. Let your gaze drift from the peaks to the shadows they cast. In this clear, high-altitude light, shadows are not just grey or dark. They are a deep, rich, impossible blue. They pool in the valleys and lie like long sleeping giants on the eastern faces of the mountains. They are cool and silent, holding the last vestiges of the night. The line between the brilliant sunlit snow and the deep blue shadow is sharp and clean, a perfect, elegant curve drawn by the hand of the earth itself. The scale of it all is difficult to comprehend. These are not hills, they are titans. You feel a sense of profound awe, but it is a calm, peaceful awe. It does not overwhelm you, it centers you. The sheer size and age of these mountains put everything into perspective. Your worries, your lists, your concerns, they feel small and distant here, lost in the immense silent majesty of this place. They are whispers in a cathedral of stone. Now, let your attention be drawn to the rivers of ice that flow in slow motion from the highest basins. These are the glaciers, the ancient hearts of the Alps. They are not white like the snow, but are dense, compacted, blue and grey. They fill the high valleys, their surfaces cracked and fissured with deep crevasses. From this height you can see their immense tongue-like forms, carving their slow, inexorable path down the mountainside. Imagine the silence of their movement, a motion so slow it is imperceptible to the human eye, yet so powerful it has carved these vast U-shaped valleys over countless ages. There is a deep, ancient wisdom in their stillness, a sense of time that operates on a geological scale. The ice within the deepest parts of the glacier is a startling luminous sapphire blue, a cold, pure colour that speaks of immense pressure and immense purity. The air around them feels colder still, a clean, refrigerated air that flows gently down the valleys. You feel a profound sense of peace in their presence. They are patient, they are powerful, and they are silent. They hold the memory of 1,000 winters in their frozen hearts. They ask nothing of you but to witness their slow, quiet existence, and in that witnessing, you feel a deep sense of calm settle within you. Your own thoughts begin to slow, matching the patient, deliberate pace of the ice. Now look down, far below the peaks and the glaciers, into the deep, protected valleys. They are a different world entirely. Where the slopes are less severe, a deep resilient green takes hold. Vast forests of pine and fir cling to the mountainsides, their dark, velvety green, a rich contrast to the white and grey above. The trees stand in silent communion, their pointed tops creating a soft, textured blanket over the land. Lower still, the valleys open into gentle rolling meadows. Even from this height, you can perceive them as a patchwork of different shades of green, from the bright emerald of a sunlit pasture to the deep, mossy green of a shaded dell. A silver ribbon of a river, born from the melting glacier far above, snakes its way through the valley floor. It glints and flashes in the sun, a thread of light and life weaving through the quiet landscape. You can sense the peace in these valleys. They are cradled and protected by the immense mountains that surround them. The air here would be warmer, softer, filled with the scent of pine and damp earth. There is a feeling of sanctuary, of a place held safe and separate from the rest of the world. There are no signs of haste or hurry, only the slow, natural rhythms of the river, the trees, and the turning of the day. But up here, where you are, the dominant sensations are of cold, light, and silence. Let's return to that silence. It is not an absence of sound, it is a presence in itself. It is the weighty quiet of a world above the clouds. It is so profound that you feel you can hear the hum of the universe itself. It is a silence that absorbs your thoughts, leaving your mind clear and open. The only thing that breaks this immense silence is the whisper of the wind. It is not a howling gale, but a soft, steady sigh. It is the breath of the mountains. You can hear it as a gentle hiss as it moves over a sharp, rocky ridge. You can feel it as a cool, weightless touch on your skin. It is the only thing that moves with any speed in this vast, still tableau. Listen to it. It is a clean sound, a pure sound. It has travelled for miles over snow and ice, and it carries nothing but the cold, crisp essence of the high altitudes. It speaks of solitude, of clarity, of an endless open sky. Let that sound be an anchor for your awareness. Each time you notice a thought beginning to form, simply let it go and return your attention to the gentle sighing whisper of the high mountain wind. You drift, slowly, effortlessly. Your perspective shifts, a subtle turn that reveals another vista, another set of peaks, another silent frozen river. Each view is unique, yet each shares the same elemental power, the same profound sense of peace. The sun is higher now, its light less gold and more a brilliant crystalline white. It washes over the landscape, making the snow almost too bright to look at, erasing all but the deepest, bluest shadows. The air remains sharp, a constant reminder of where you are. It is an elixir, cleansing and pure. With every breath you feel a sense of clarity filling you. The complexities of the world below seem to fade into irrelevance. Here things are simple. There is rock, there is snow, there is light, and there is silence. This simplicity is a balm for a tired mind. It allows your entire being to unclench, to release a tension you may not have even known you were holding. You notice the small, perfect details within the grand vista. A plume of fine, powdery snow lifted from a high peak by the wind, sparkling in the sun like a veil of diamonds before dissolving back into the air. The delicate, feathery patterns of frost on a dark rock face. An intricate work of art that will vanish when the sun touches it. The way the light catches the edge of a shard of ice, creating a tiny, brilliant rainbow. These small moments of beauty are everywhere, woven into the fabric of this immense place. They ask for nothing but to be noticed, and as you notice them, your mind becomes quieter, more focused, more present. You're not thinking, you're simply seeing. You're not worrying, you're simply being. Here, in the heart of the Alps, suspended in the clear cold air, you are just a peaceful awareness, a quiet observer in a world of silent sleeping giants. The feeling is one of complete and utter freedom. There are no walls here, no ceilings, no paths you must follow. There is only the vast open space and the silent, majestic peaks. You feel your own spirit expand to fill this space, a sense of lightness and release washing over you. You are part of this landscape now, as quiet and as still as the stone, as free as the wind. Let your body feel this peace. Let your muscles soften and release. Let your breathing remain slow, deep, and regular, a gentle rhythm in harmony with the vast quiet world around you. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to be. There is only this moment, this view, this profound and healing calm. You're safe, you're at peace, and you're ready to drift even deeper into the quiet heart of Switzerland. Your journey continues, your awareness a single weightless point of light, drifting down from the silent sunlit peaks. You leave behind the sharp, thin air and the immense, stark beauty of the high altitudes, and begin a slow, spiralling descent into the arms of a valley below. The world of white snow and blue shadow gives way, slowly and gently, to a world of deep and living green. The air around you grows warmer, losing its icy edge and becoming cool, soft, and filled with a gentle, unseen moisture. You can feel the subtle shift in pressure, a change that grounds you, connecting you to the living, breathing world below. The air itself feels thicker, more substantial, carrying the first faint, clean scents of chlorophyll and damp earth. The silence changes too. The high, lonely whisper of the wind over rock is replaced by a deeper, more muffled quiet. It is the sound of a place sheltered and held. You're entering a sanctuary, a vast green cradle carved into the earth. The mountains, which from above were a jagged and endless sea, now rise on either side of you like immense benevolent guardians. Their grey stony faces are softened here by clinging moss and tenacious hardy trees, their peaks now distant crowns against the soft blue sky. This is a classic U-shaped valley, a colossal trough gouged from the land by a glacier that has long since vanished. You can feel the history of it, the slow, unimaginable power that shaped this place. The valley walls are steep, but they do not feel menacing. They are ancient, sleeping shoulders, covered in a thick, velvety cloak of forest. This cloak is not one colour, but a rich tapestry of greens. There is the dark, almost black green of the shadowed pines, the brighter emerald of sun-drenched firs, and the soft grey-green of distant larch trees on the higher slopes. The valley floor, in contrast, is wide and remarkably flat, a lush carpet of meadowland stretching for miles. You drift lower, your path taking you towards the dense forests that cling to the mountainsides. From a distance they appeared as a uniform, dark green, but as you draw closer, you begin to see the incredible detail and texture. This is a forest of conifers, of pine and fir and larch. The trees stand tall and straight, their trunks the colour of deep, reddish-brown earth. They grow in a close, silent community, their branches interlocking far overhead to form a dense canopy. As you slip below this canopy, the world changes again. The bright, open sunlight of the valley is filtered now, transformed into a soft, dappled emerald glow. Great shafts of light pierce the gloom in places, illuminating patches of the forest floor and making the air itself seem to sparkle with tiny, dancing motes of dust and pollen. This is cathedral light, sacred and still. The air is cooler here and profoundly quiet. It is heavy with the rich, clean scent of pine needles, of damp, dark soil, and the subtle, woody fragrance of tree sap. This is a silence that is full, not empty. It is a presence. It is the quiet of things growing, of time passing without witness. It presses in gently from all sides, a soft weight that calms the mind. It is a silence composed of a million tiny unheard sounds, the slow pulling of water up through a tree's core, the gradual decay of a fallen leaf, the patient unfurling of a fern. This silence has a texture, thick and soft like velvet, and it muffles the world, creating a safe, insulated space for rest. Let your awareness settle here for a moment, in the deep peace of this ancient forest. Your feet make no sound on the soft carpet of fallen needles that covers the ground. It is a cushioning layer that has been accumulating for centuries, softening every sound, absorbing every footfall until all that is left is a profound and reverent hush. The The ground beneath the needles is soft and springy, a mixture of rich soil and decaying wood that gives slightly under your weight, connecting you to the earth's gentle embrace. Listen. At first, you hear nothing but that profound silence, but as you attune your senses, you begin to notice the subtle sounds of the forest. The gentle, almost imperceptible creak of a branch high above, swaying in a breeze you cannot feel. The soft, rhythmic drip of water from a mossy branch onto a fern below, a sound like a tiny liquid clock counting the slow seconds. A pine cone, loosened from its perch, falls with a soft thud onto the needle bed, a sound that is immediately absorbed by the quiet. These are the only sounds, tiny notes in a vast symphony of silence. They do not disturb the peace. They are the sound of peace itself. You feel a sense of profound safety here, a feeling of being hidden and protected from the outside world. The forest is a world unto itself, operating on its own slow, patient timescale. You reach out a hand and touch the bark of a great pine. It is rough and deeply grooved, cool and solid under your fingertips. The texture is intricate, a relief map of its long life, telling a story of seasons of sun and snow in its deep fissures. In some places, a drop of amber resin has oozed out, sticky and fragrant, smelling powerfully of the tree's living essence. Patches of vibrant green moss grow in its crevices, soft as velvet and cool with captured moisture, a miniature forest upon the tree itself. Looking around, you see this soft green life everywhere. Moss covers the fallen logs, turning them into long, sleeping emerald creatures. It carpets the stones and boulders that lie scattered across the forest floor, softening their hard edges. Ferns grow in the shaded, damp places, their delicate fronds unfurling in intricate, perfect spirals. This undergrowth is a miniature world of its own, a quiet, thriving community living in the soft green light beneath the trees. You continue your slow, drifting journey through the forest, moving deeper into the valley. And as you do, a new sound begins to reach you. It is very faint at first, a low, constant hum, more of a feeling in the air than a sound you can hear. You feel it in your chest, a gentle, bass vibration that harmonizes with your own heartbeat. It is a steady, soothing presence, a baseline of white noise that seems to exist just at the edge of your hearing. It is the sound of moving water. You're drawn towards it. The forest begins to thin slightly, and the ground slopes gently downwards. The humming grows, becoming a soft, distant roar, a sound that has a gentle echo to it, as if the valley walls themselves are softly singing along. This echo is a crucial part of the sound. It is not sharp, but rounded and soft, the sound waves bouncing from stone to tree to mossy earth, losing all their harshness until only a smooth, enveloping roar remains. It is the sound of the valley itself breathing. It washes through your awareness, cleansing it of any lingering thoughts. There is only the green light of the forest, the scent of pine, and this steady, soothing sound. You emerge at the edge of the trees, standing on a ledge of rock overlooking a deeper part of the valley, and there, across the chasm, is the source of the sound. A stream, born from the melting snows high up on the mountain, reaches the edge of a sheer cliff face and simply lets go. It is not a thunderous, violent cascade, but a long, graceful ribbon of white water that falls for hundreds of feet. It is a veil of liquid light, a constant shimmering curtain against the dark, wet rock behind it. That rock face is almost black with moisture, slick and glistening, with patches of deep green algae clinging to its surface. The falling water seems to fall in slow motion, breaking apart into a million individual, sparkling droplets on its long journey down. Before it even reaches the bottom, much of it has turned into a fine, billowing mist that drifts in the air, catching the sunlight and creating a faint, ethereal rainbow at its base. The sound is mesmerizing. It is a perfect, natural white noise, a steady, gentle shh, a sound without beginning or end. The contained echo you heard from the forest is clearer now, a soft reverberation that rounds the edges of the sound, making it feel even more immersive and calm. It fills the air, but it is not loud or intrusive. It is a sound that absorbs all other sounds, that soothes the nerves and calms the mind. You close your eyes for a moment and just listen, letting the sound of the falling water wash over you and through you until your own breathing slows to match its timeless, steady rhythm. The cool mist from the waterfall drifts across the space and touches your skin. It is refreshing and clean, settling on your face and arms like the gentlest rain. You can feel the coolness on your eyelids, a soothing sensation that invites you to keep them closed for a moment longer. The tiny droplets gather on your eyelashes. The mist carries the pure, mineral scent of the mountain rock and the clean chill of the snowmelt. You take a deep breath of this cool, misty air, and it feels as though you are inhaling the very essence of the mountain. From this vantage point, you can see the stream continuing its journey along the valley floor. It has become a river now, fed by the waterfall and countless other small streams. It is not a deep or raging river, but a wide, shallow one that meanders peacefully across the flat meadows. Its water is impossibly clear, and you can see the smooth, multicoloured stones that make up its bed. The sunlight penetrates the shallow water, creating a shifting, dancing pattern of light on the riverbed below, a moving net of liquid gold. Your journey continues, leaving the waterfall behind, its gentle roar slowly fading back into a distant hum. You drift down to the valley floor, into the open, sunlit meadows. The grass here is thick and lush, a vibrant, almost luminous green. It is a tapestry of shades, from the sharp, bright green of new growth to the deeper jade of clover leaves, to the soft, pale green of fine, feathery grasses. It is dotted with wildflowers, small, resilient splashes of colour, tiny blue forget-me-nots, bright yellow buttercups, and the soft white heads of clover. The air here is warmer, filled with the sweet, gentle scent of grass and flowers, and the hum of insects going about their slow, peaceful work. The warmth of the sun is a gentle weight on your shoulders, sinking into your muscles, releasing a quiet, hidden tension. The river flows beside you, its surface like polished glass, perfectly reflecting the deep blue of the sky and the white puffy clouds that drift slowly across it. The only sound is the gentle liquid murmur of the water as it flows over the smooth stones, a soft, burbling, happy sound. It is the sound of effortless movement, of letting go and following the easiest path. It is a lesson in peace. Following the gentle downward slope of the valley, you notice a change in the air ahead. A vast, open space. The valley is coming to an end, opening out onto something even larger, even more peaceful. The river beside you seems to know it, its flow becoming slower, calmer, as it prepares to merge with a much larger body of water. The trees on the mountainsides give way to gentler, more rounded hills, and the sky ahead seems to grow wider and brighter. And then you see it. Spreading out before you, reaching to the horizon, is a great Alpine lake. It is a vast, silent mirror, held in a basin between the rolling hills and the distant snow-capped mountains. The sheer size of it takes your breath away. It is a sea of fresh, clear, perfectly still water. Its surface is so smooth, so flawless, that it creates a perfect, inverted reflection of the world around it. It is a perfect deception, a silent, upside-down world floating just beneath the surface. The mountains, the sky, the clouds, they're all there, captured in the lake's surface in perfect, serene detail. The light that comes off the water is soft and clean. It is not the harsh glare of an ocean, but a gentle, diffused luminescence that seems to brighten the very air. Where the sun touches the surface at an angle, it creates a wide, shimmering path of silver and gold, a million tiny points of light dancing and sparkling. This path of light seems to lead from the shore directly into the heart of the sun's reflection, a calm and glittering road. You come to rest on the shore. It is not a sandy beach, but a shoreline of smooth, flattened stones, worn down by the gentle lapping of the water over thousands of years. They are a mosaic of colours, grey, white, green and rose, and they are cool and solid beneath your feet. You reach down and pick one up. It is perfectly smooth in your hand, its shape and texture a product of immense time and patience. It holds both the deep coolness of the water and the faint warmth of the afternoon sun, a small, solid piece of the lake's tranquility. You run your thumb over its surface, a simple, grounding sensation. You look out across the water. The colour is extraordinary. Near the shore, where the water is shallow, it is a clear, brilliant turquoise, the colour of a precious gem. You can see every stone on the lake bed as if looking through clear glass. Further out, as the lake deepens, the colour changes to a deep sapphire blue, and then, in its very centre, to a dark, mysterious indigo that speaks of profound, silent depths. The air above the water feels different. It is so calm, so still, it feels as if it could hold a single, perfect note of music forever without a tremor. There is almost no sound. The distant waterfall is gone. The murmuring river has been absorbed into the great silence of the lake. The only sound is a soft, rhythmic whisper. It is the sound of the water barely moving as it laps against the shore. A gentle as a tiny wave, no bigger than a ripple, lifts the shallow water over the stones and then draws it back. It is the slowest, most peaceful rhythm imaginable. A liquid whisper, the softest percussion. It is the deep, slow breathing of the sleeping earth. You let your awareness drift out from the shore, floating weightlessly over the surface of the water. You're suspended between two perfect skies, the real one above you and the reflected one below. It is a feeling of complete and utter tranquility, of being held in a perfect silent symmetry. You look down, and you see the perfect image of a snow-capped peak, its white summit floating in the blue depths. A single, white cloud drifts across the reflected sky below you, its edges soft and indistinct. A gentle breeze, the first you have felt down here, moves across the surface of the lake. It is too soft to be called a wind. It is a caress, a sigh. It breathes across the water, and for a moment the perfect reflection shivers and dissolves into a million tiny, sparkling points of light, a field of shimmering diamonds. The surface becomes a textured, moving thing. Then, just as quickly the breeze passes and the water settles once more into a perfect glassy calm, the reflection reforming as if it had never been disturbed. The feeling of peace here is absolute. It emanates from the still water, from the ancient mountains, from the vast silent sky. The lake is a great calm heart, and its slow, steady pulse is the gentle lapping of the water on the shore. It stills your own heart. It slows your own thoughts. There is nothing to analyse here, nothing to figure out. There is only this immense, beautiful stillness and the feeling of being a part of it. You look across the lake, to the far shore. Miles away, the mountains that ring the water are a soft, hazy blue, their details softened by the distance. They look like a dream of mountains, a watercolour painting of a peaceful, sleeping world. The scale of the scene is majestic, but its feeling is one of intimate personal peace. This vast space feels like a safe, quiet room. Its walls the mountains, its floor the water, and its ceiling the sky. You let your body absorb this peace. Feel the tension in your shoulders and neck dissolve into the stillness. Feel the tightness in your brow soften and smooth out. Feel the gentle, rhythmic lapping of the water become the rhythm of your own deep, slow breathing. In and out. A tiny wave whispers on the shore. In and out. The reflection of a cloud drifts across the deep, calm water. There is a timeless quality to this place. It feels as if it has been like this forever, and will be like this forever. The sun will rise and set, casting its golden and rosy light across the water. The stars will come out and scatter their cold, diamond light on its surface. The seasons will change, the snows will come and go on the mountains, but the deep, profound peace of the lake will remain. It is a constant, an anchor of calm in a changing world. You're floating in the centre of this calm, a part of its deep, abiding peace. The water supports you, the air is soft around you, the distant mountains watch over you. Every element of this landscape is an invitation to let go, to release, to drift, to rest. You're immersed in the quiet geography of Switzerland, a land shaped by slow, powerful forces into a masterpiece of tranquility. And here, on the still, silent water of this great lake, you feel your own mind becoming as clear, as calm, and as perfectly still as the world around you. Your awareness rests upon the still, silent water, a part of its deep and abiding peace. You are floating in the centre of this calm, held between the perfect sky and its perfect reflection. The air is soft, the distant mountains are a dream, and every element of the landscape is an invitation to let go, to release, to drift, to rest. There is nothing but the vast, quiet geography of this peaceful land. But then, across the immense silence of the lake, comes a new sensation. It is not born of the water, or the mountains, or the sky. It is a sound, impossibly faint at first, a single, pure note that travels without effort across the glassy surface. It is a sound that is both clear and soft, a resonant tone of cast bronze. It is the sound of a distant bell. It is a gentle call, an invitation. The sound does not startle or demand. It simply is. It hangs in the still air for a long moment before fading slowly, gracefully, back into the silence it came from. It is a sound of peace, of slow time, of quiet community. And your awareness, like a seed on the wind, begins to drift towards its source, moving slowly from the centre of the lake towards the verdant shore. As you draw closer to the land, the details of the shoreline become clear. The smooth, water-worn stones give way to a soft green bank. A few ancient willow trees dip their long trailing branches into the water, their leaves creating gentle, shifting patterns on the surface. Beyond them, nestled into a protective curve of the land, is a small village. It is not built upon the land, but seems to have grown out of it, a natural and peaceful extension of the valley itself. There are no straight lines here, no harsh angles. The village follows the gentle contours of the earth. A single, narrow lane paved with smooth, grey cobblestones winds its way between the houses, and the houses themselves are a vision of quiet, harmonious living. They are traditional chalets, their foundations made of the same cool grey stone as the mountains, their upper stories crafted from rich, dark wood. You drift along this silent lane. The wood of the chalets is dark with age, a deep chocolatey brown, weathered by 100 winters of heavy snow and 100 summers of bright Alpine sun. The timber has been shaped by hand, you can sense it. The beams are thick and solid, bearing the faint, beautiful marks of the adze, and saw that cut them long ago. They fit together perfectly, a testament to a patient and precise craft. Each chalet has a deeply sloping roof, designed to shed the heavy winter snows. The eaves hang low, creating a feeling of shelter and embrace. They are covered in dark wooden shingles or thick slabs of slate, and on some of the oldest roofs patches of bright green moss have taken hold, a soft living blanket that ties the structure even more closely to the landscape. But what draws your eye most is the colour. Against the dark, weathered wood of every chalet, there are window boxes overflowing with life. They spill forth with a profusion of bright, impossibly red geraniums, of delicate pink and white petunias. The colours are a joyful, silent song against the deep, resonant bass note of the old wood. This is not a wild beauty, but a tended one. It speaks of care, of a love for one's home, of a simple tradition of adding a splash of vibrant life to the quiet stillness of the village. It is a gesture of quiet pride and deep contentment. An open doorway beckons, an invitation into the cool, quiet dark. Your awareness drifts inside, crossing the threshold from the bright afternoon into the peaceful interior of a chalet. The air inside is immediately different. It is cool and still, and carries the scent of old, dry timber, of beeswax used to polish the floors, and a faint, lingering aroma of wood smoke from a hearth long since gone cold. Sunlight filters through a small window, its glass old and slightly wavy, which softens the light. It falls in a warm, golden rectangle upon the floorboards. These boards are wide and dark, worn smooth by generations of footsteps. You can see the grain of the wood, the swirls and knots that tell the story of the tree it came from. The surface is not perfectly flat, but gently undulating, a landscape in miniature. The furniture is simple, solid, and made from the same dark wood. A heavy table, its surface marked with the signs of 1,000 shared meals. A hand-carved chair, its back smoothed and polished by the touch of those who have rested in it. On a wooden balcony, visible through an open door, you can see the intricate geometric patterns carved into the railing, a form of silent wooden lace. It is all the work of hands, not machines. It is imbued with a quiet human history. This is a silence different from the forest. It is a contained silence, a domestic quiet. It is the peace of a home that has held many lives, many peaceful nights of sleep. The thick wooden walls absorb sound, creating a feeling of being completely and safely insulated from the outside world. Here, within these walls, time itself seems to slow down, to breathe more deeply. And then the sound comes again. You are closer now, and the bell's voice is richer, fuller. It seems to come from the very heart of the village, from a simple stone church with a tall, slender steeple. The note blooms in the air, a perfect round tone that fills the space between the houses. It is not a clang, but a deep, resonant hum. It is the sound of the hour being marked, a calm and unhurried announcement of the slow, steady passage of time. You let the sound wash over you. It is a sound that has echoed in this valley for centuries. It has marked the passing of seasons, of generations. It has rung out in the crisp, cold air of winter dawns, and in the warm, golden light of summer evenings. It is a part of the valley's memory, a constant, reassuring presence. The sound connects the quiet lives within these houses to a long, unbroken thread of peaceful history. It is a sound that anchors the present moment in a deep and tranquil past. The final vibrations of the bell fade, and the deep silence returns, made even more profound by the memory of the note. Your awareness is drawn upward now, leaving the quiet village behind and rising, drifting up the steep green slope of the mountain that shelters it. You follow a faint winding path, little more than a track through the high meadows. The air grows cooler again, crisper, cleaner. You rise above the tree line into the realm of the alpage, the high summer pastures. The grass here is shorter, tougher, but it is a carpet of the most intense and vivid green. It is studded with a different kind of flower, tiny, resilient alpine blossoms of deep blue, bright yellow, and pure white. And here another sound reaches you. It is a gentle, melodic, and constant chiming. It is the sound of cowbells, a soft metallic clinking that drifts on the breeze. Each bell has a slightly different tone, creating a random, gentle, and continuous music that is the very soundtrack of these high pastures. Ahead, you see a low, simple building. It is an Alpine hut, built of stone and heavy timber, its roof weighted down with large rocks against the mountain winds. A thin, pale grey ribbon of smoke rises from its stone chimney and dissolves into the vast blue sky. This is a place of ancient seasonal work. It is a place of transformation, where the essence of the green mountain pastures is turned into nourishment. You drift through the solid wooden door into the dim, warm interior. The air inside is thick with the scent of wood smoke from the open fire, and another, richer smell. The warm, sweet, and slightly tangy aroma of fresh milk and aging cheese. The room is simple. A fire burns low under a great gleaming copper cauldron. The copper is old, burnished to a warm, soft glow by years of use, its surface bearing small, gentle dents from a long life of work. The light from a single, small window illuminates the smoky air, and along one wall, from floor to ceiling, are rough wooden shelves. On these shelves rest hundreds of large golden wheels of cheese. There are people here, but they work in a comfortable practice silence. Their movements are slow, deliberate, and efficient. One person stirs the warming milk in the vast cauldron with a long wooden paddle. The motion is rhythmic, meditative, a slow, continuous figure eight. The only sound is the soft, liquid sloshing of the milk and the gentle crackle and pop of the fire. As the milk warms, a fragrant steam rises, smelling sweet and clean, like the meadows themselves. You watch the process unfold with a deep sense of calm. You see the subtle change in the milk's texture as it warms, the way it thickens almost imperceptibly. You see the quiet moment of adding the rennet, the natural enzyme that begins the magic. And then you witness the slow miracle of separation, as the liquid whey begins to draw away from the solid curds, which gather together like soft white clouds in a pale yellow sky. There is no hurry. This process cannot be rushed. It follows its own timeless rhythm, a recipe passed down not in books, but in movements, in feelings, in the quiet understanding between generations. You watch as the curds are separated, gathered in a fine white cheesecloth, and lifted, heavy and steaming, from the cauldron. It is a communal effort, performed with a quiet, unspoken coordination. The weight of it is immense, a heavy, warm, life-filled bundle. The whey drips from it, a clear, warm liquid that patters softly on the stone floor. The bundle is carried to a large, round, wooden mould. The cloth is unwrapped, and the warm, soft mass of curd is settled into the form. It is a perfect white wheel, soft and yielding. It is pressed slowly and firmly, releasing the last of the whey, beginning its long, slow journey. Your attention turns to the shells, to the library of aging cheeses. Each wheel is a pale, golden yellow, its rind hard and dry. They rest in the cool, dim air, and a profound, slow alchemy is happening within them. You can see the subtle differences in their surfaces. The younger wheels are smooth and pale. The older ones are darker, their rinds developing a complex, dusty, greyish bloom, a geography of their own. The sweet milk of the summer pastures, full of the flavour of 1,000 Alpine flowers, is deepening, growing complex, becoming something rich and nutty and profound. The air around them is thick with this savoury, delicious scent. It is the smell of patience. It is the smell of time itself, captured and preserved. This is a culture born of the land. It is a life lived in harmony with the seasons, with the slow rhythm of the grazing herds, with the patient, quiet work of transformation. There is a deep, grounding peace in this simple hut. It is the peace of purposeful, unhurried work. Now let your awareness undergo another transformation. Let it drift away from the high pasture, away from the seasonal agricultural rhythms. Let it be drawn down from the mountain, back towards the village by the lake, and into a different kind of quiet room. The scale of your focus shifts from the vastness of the valley to the small, contained world of a single workbench. You are in the workshop of a watchmaker. The room is spare, clean, and filled with a soft northern light from a large clear window. Through the window, you can see the calm blue surface of the lake and the hazy distant mountains. A constant, peaceful backdrop. The silence in this room is of a different quality than the silence of the forest or the cheese hut. It is a silence of absolute, focused concentration. The air itself seems still, as if holding its breath. The workbench is made of old, heavy wood, its surface worn smooth and dark in the places where the watchmaker's arms have rested for countless hours. It is not cluttered, but perfectly organised. Rows of tiny, specialised tools rest in felt-lined trays. Small brass screwdrivers with colour-coded heads, polished steel tweezers of varying fineness, small glass domes to cover finished work, protecting it from a single speck of dust. At the bench sits a figure, the head bent in study, an eyeglass, a loupe, held in place by the muscles of the face. Their posture is one of deep, relaxed focus. Before them, on a clean, dark surface, lies the open heart of a watch. It is a miniature universe of breathtaking complexity and beauty. Your focus is drawn to the watchmaker's hands. They are steady, impossibly still. Their movements are tiny, precise, and infinitely patient. Their breathing is slow and even, a gentle rhythm that is almost silent. Using a pair of fine, delicate tweezers, the watchmaker lifts a gear no bigger than a pinhead. It is a wheel of polished brass, its tiny teeth cut in a perfect radiant circle, like a miniature sun. With a movement too small to be rushed, the gear is placed into the intricate metal landscape of the watch's movement. There is no sound, just the softest imaginable whisper of contact as the gear's tiny axle finds its home in a deep red ruby jewel. The colour of the polished brass against the blood-red jewel is a moment of hidden, microscopic beauty. You see the other components laid out in perfect order. More tiny, faceted rubies that will serve as near-frictionless bearings. The balance spring, a hairspring coiled like the most delicate tendril, finer than a spider's silk that will beat like a tiny rhythmic heart. Each piece is a miracle of precision, a testament to a craft that seeks a kind of mechanical perfection. There is almost no sound in this room. The soft whisper of a tool on metal, the gentle, nearly inaudible settling sound as a component finds its home. And then, as the final piece is set and the balance wheel is given a gentle nudge with the finest of probes, a new sound is born. It is the quietest, most precise sound imaginable. A soft, steady, rhythmic ticking. It is the sound of time being captured, measured, and given a voice. This is not the hurried, demanding ticking of a modern clock. It is a calm, meditative pulse, a tiny metallic heartbeat. It is the sound of order, of balance, of a perfect, self-contained system working in flawless harmony. The watchmaker's art is not about conquering time, but about honouring it. It is about understanding its steady, relentless, and peaceful flow. It is an act of devotion to precision, to beauty, to the creation of a small, perfect world that measures the unfolding of the larger one. Let your awareness rest in this peaceful, focused space. The quiet ticking is a mantra, a steady rhythm that calms the mind. Outside the window, the sun moves slowly across the sky, its reflection gliding across the lake. Inside the room, the tiny mechanical heart of the watch beats in perfect, steady time. There is a harmony between the two, the grand celestial clockwork of the solar system and the miniature, handcrafted clockwork on the bench. You feel the legacy of this place. A legacy not of great battles or grand pronouncements, but of quiet, diligent, beautiful work. It is the same patience you felt in the cheese hut, the same meticulous care you saw in the hand-carved chalets, the same pride you witnessed in the bright-tended flower boxes. It is a culture of making things well, of doing things with purpose and without rush. This peaceful history is etched into the very landscape. It is in the sound of the church bell that measures the day with grace. It is in the taste of the cheese that holds the memory of a summer pasture. It is in the steady, quiet beat of a timepiece that was assembled with a watchmaker's silent, meditative focus. These are the whispers of a culture that has found its peace not in grand gestures, but in the small, beautiful and enduring acts of daily life, all lived under the watchful, silent gaze of the great mountains. Your own mind begins to absorb this deep cultural calm. The need to rush, the habit of worrying, the noise of a busy world, all of it fades. It is replaced by a sense of slow, deliberate peace, a peace that has been crafted, nurtured, and preserved here for generations, as carefully and as lovingly as a master watchmaker assembles a timeless, beautiful watch. You're immersed now not just in the geography, but in the very soul of this tranquil place, and it holds you in a deep and profound state of rest. The workshop is still, filled with the soft northern light and the quiet, steady beat of the timepiece. This is the pulse of a legacy, the quiet heart of a culture that has found its peace not in grand gestures, but in the small, beautiful and enduring acts of daily life. And now you feel your awareness being gently drawn out of this focused, timeless space and back into the living, breathing village. The tiny mechanical ticking fades, replaced by the slow, deep and steady heartbeat of the present moment. The light is changing. The sun is still far below the jagged eastern peaks, but its impending arrival is announced by a slow, magical transformation of the sky. The deep, star-dusted velvet of the night softens, turning to a bruised, deep indigo. This is the blue hour, a time of profound quiet and stillness, a pause between the world of dreams and the world of the day. The air is cool and damp, carrying the clean scent of the cold lake and the night-washed stones of the village. It is an air of pure potential, an atmosphere cleansed and ready for a new day. In this deep pre-dawn quiet, the first stirrings of the day begin. A single, warm, yellow light appears in a window down the lane. It is a soft, welcoming glow against the cool blue of the world. It is the village bakery. Your awareness drifts towards it, drawn by that small promise of warmth. Through the clear glass, you see a figure moving in the soft light. The baker. Their movements are unhurried, practiced, a slow dance they have performed 1,000 times before. You drift through the closed door into the comforting warmth of the bakery. The air embraces you like a soft woolen blanket, thick and warm and alive with the most wholesome of smells. It is the scent of raw yeast, sweet and slightly alcoholic, the clean, dry scent of flour, and the underlying warmth of the brick oven, which has been holding its heat all night long. The baker begins by sifting the flour, a fine white powder that falls like a silent, weightless snow into a large wooden trough. The sound is just a whisper, the soft hiss of the flour passing through the fine mesh. You see them working with the dough, a living, breathing thing. Their hands, dusted in a fine white coat of flour, are strong and gentle. They push, fold, and turn the soft, pale mass. The dough sighs and yields under their touch, becoming smoother, more elastic with each rhythmic motion. It is a dialogue between the baker and the bread, a conversation conducted in pressure and texture. The only sound is the soft sigh of the dough as the air is pressed from it, and the gentle scraping sound of the wooden board on the work table. This is an ancient rhythm, a quiet act of creation that begins while the rest of the world is still asleep. The baker lets the dough rest, covering it with a clean white cloth. It is a moment of stillness, of quiet trust in the process. In this pause, you notice the details of the room. The floor is stone, worn into smooth hollows over the years. The walls are whitewashed, but dusted with a fine layer of flour that softens every surface. The heavy iron door of the oven is a deep, solid black, its handle made of polished, worn steel. It radiates a gentle but powerful heat, a sleeping dragon waiting to bake. After its rest, the dough has grown, puffed up with life. The baker divides it with a sure, quick motion. Now the shaping begins. The baker's hands move with a practiced, almost unconscious grace, rolling, tucking, and sealing. Some loaves are formed into long, thin baguettes, their tapered ends perfect and delicate. Others are shaped into round, generous boules, their tops scored with a sharp blade, creating a pattern that will open up like a flower in the heat of the oven. This is not just work, it is artistry, simple and profound. The air inside is thick with the comforting promise of what is to come. You watch as the loaves are placed with care onto long wooden peels and slid into the deep, hot mouth of the brick oven. As the oven door opens, a wave of intense, dry heat washes into the room, and for a second you can hear the deep, low roar of the fire's embers. The heavy iron door is closed with a soft, solid thud, and now there is nothing to do but wait. It is a lesson in patience, a lesson in trust. Minutes pass in the warm, quiet room. A new scent begins to fill the air, slowly overpowering the smell of raw yeast. It is the warm, nutty aroma of baking bread, a smell that speaks of home, of comfort, of deep satisfaction. It is one of the most ancient and reassuring scents in the world. And when the time is right, the baker opens the oven door again. The loaves that emerge are transformed. They are a deep burnished gold, their crusts blistered and crackling from the intense heat. The baker taps the bottom of a loaf and it makes a hollow resonant sound, the sound of perfection. As you drift back out into the lane, the sky's beginning to blush with the first hints of pink and soft orange along the mountain ridges. The world is slowly, gently waking. Other lights begin to appear in other windows. The sound of a wooden shutter being opened, a gentle scrape and a soft click as it is latched into place. The distant, gentle clinking of cowbells as the herd is stirred in a pasture high above. The village is taking its first slow, collective breath of the new day. In the small central square, by the simple stone fountain, the morning market is beginning to form. It is not a loud or bustling affair. It is a quiet, communal gathering. A farmer lays out his wheels of cheese on a simple wooden table. He unwraps them from their protective cloths with a gentle reverence. The cloth itself smells faintly of the cool, damp cave where the cheese has been aging. His hands are weathered, but they move with a deep, familiar knowledge, handling the heavy wheels with both strength and care. Your awareness lingers here, at this simple stall. You see a young, soft white cheese, its surface still moist, with the faint imprint of the basket in which it was formed. Beside it sits a hard, aged Alpine cheese, its rind a deep golden brown, its aroma sharp and nutty even in the cool morning air. The farmer takes a thin, sharp knife and cuts a small sliver for a customer to taste. You can see the texture of the cheese as it is cut slightly crumbly, the colour of pale butter. It is the taste of the high meadows, of summer sun and wildflowers, concentrated into a single savoury bite. Another vendor arrives, their basket filled with jars that catch the first rays of the sun. The jars hold honey, thick and golden, the captured sunlight of 1,000 summer flowers. You look closely at one jar. The honey is a deep, clear amber, and you can see a tiny, perfect hexagon of honeycomb suspended within it. As the sun warms the glass, the honey seems to glow from within. A customer tries a sample, and you watch the slow, viscous drip of the honey from a small wooden spoon, a perfect golden thread stretching and thinning until it finally lets go. You can almost smell its sweet floral fragrance. There are jams of deep, ruby red raspberry and dark purple blackberry. The labels are written by hand, in a neat, careful script. Each jar is a small, sweet jewel, a testament to the patient work of picking and preserving the fruits of the short Alpine summer. Nearby, a woman sets out baskets of eggs, their shells in a soft palette of pale blue, light green, and creamy brown. They rest in beds of clean, dry straw. Everything here is simple, honest, and direct from the earth. And then the baker arrives, his arms laden with a basket of fresh bread. The scent that precedes him is a warm, comforting cloud. The crust is a deep, crackling brown, dusted with flour. The scent that rises from the basket is a symphony of warmth. It is the aroma of caramelized crust, of a soft, steamy interior, the scent of simple, honest nourishment, and it fills the small square with a feeling of profound well-being. People who buy a loaf hold it for a moment, feeling its warmth through the paper bag, a small, simple pleasure. People begin to arrive. They do not rush. They walk slowly, greeting each other not with loud words, but with a quiet nod, a gentle smile. The transactions are simple, peaceful. A loaf of bread is exchanged for a few coins. A wedge of cheese is cut with a special wire, the movement clean and precise, and then wrapped carefully in brown paper. The sounds are all soft. The quiet murmur of voices, the crinkle of paper, the gentle clink of coins. It is a slow, rhythmic exchange, a quiet affirmation of community. The sun is higher now, its light pouring into the valley, chasing the last of the blue shadows from the narrow lanes. The market slowly disperses, its purpose fulfilled. People return to their homes, carrying the simple treasures of the morning. The village settles into the next phase of its daily rhythm, and your awareness is drawn to a new sound, a sound that is both quiet and persistent. It is a soft, rhythmic scraping coming from an open workshop door. You drift inside, into the world of a woodcarver. The room is filled with a clean, slightly sweet and wonderful scent. It is the smell of freshly cut linden wood, a fragrance like honey and green leaves combined. Piles of pale, fragrant shavings curl upon the floor like wooden ribbons. The light from the doorway illuminates the air, which is thick with tiny golden motes of sawdust dancing in the sunbeams. A man sits on a low stool, a block of the pale, creamy wood held steady in his lap. In his hands he holds a small, sharp gouge. The tool's handle is of a darker wood, worn smooth and dark with the patina of his grip. The steel blade is polished to a mirror shine, its curved edge honed to a perfect, dangerous sharpness. His hands are old, the knuckles gnarled, but his movements are as steady and precise as the watchmaker's. He is not forcing the tool, but guiding it. With each slow, deliberate pull, a perfect curled shaving falls away from the block. The shaving is almost translucent, as thin as paper. You can see the light through it. The sound is a soft, satisfying shh, a whisper of steel on wood. It is a sound of pure creation, of form being revealed. Beneath the blade, the newly exposed wood is silky smooth, with a soft, matte sheen. It invites the touch. You can imagine the feeling of that surface, cool and smooth, with the faintest texture of the grain, like fine woven silk. His focus is absolute. His gaze is soft, but completely intent on the piece of wood. He is not looking at it so much as he is looking into it. He is listening to the wood, feeling its grain, understanding its nature. He is not imposing a shape upon it, but revealing the shape that already lies sleeping within. He works in a deep, meditative silence, his breathing the only other sound, slow and even. The world outside the doorway, the village, the mountains, seems to fade away, leaving only the man, the wood, and the tool. On a shelf behind him, you can see some of his finished work. A small, perfect bird, its feathers delicately rendered. You can almost feel the softness of its carved breast, the sharpness of its tiny beak. The gentle, humorous face of a forest gnome, its beard a cascade of intricate, swirling cuts, its eyes seeming to hold a quiet, ancient wisdom. A simple, elegant spoon, its bowl perfectly hollowed, its handle flowing in a smooth, comfortable curve. Each piece is imbued with a quiet life, a gentle spirit. They are not just objects, they are stories told in wood. You stay here for a long time, held in the peaceful rhythm of his work. The scrape and whisper of the tool, the slow, steady breathing of the carver, the gradual, almost magical emergence of a form from the simple block of wood. It is an act of patient creation, a meditation in wood and steel. Like the baker, the cheesemaker, and the watchmaker, the woodcarver is a keeper of a quiet tradition, a practitioner of a slow and mindful art. As the sun reaches its zenith, high in the sky directly above the valley, the rhythm of the village shifts again. The scraping in the carver's shop ceases. The sounds of work fade. This is the time for the midday meal and for a quiet rest in the warmest part of the day. Your awareness drifts back out into the small town square. The sun is bright and warm now, and the air is still. The stone of the fountain is warm to the touch. You can feel the gentle, radiant heat rising from the sun-baked cobblestones. The warmth is a physical presence, a gentle weight that encourages stillness and rest. It seeps into your very being, loosening muscles you didn't know were tense, slowing your thoughts to a peaceful, drifting pace. The sound of the water is the only real movement in the square. It falls from the simple spout into the basin below, with a gentle, constant splash and murmur, a cool, liquid sound in the warm air. The sunlight catches the falling droplets, turning them into a cascade of tiny, sparkling diamonds. The sound is endlessly soothing, a timeless, natural music that has been the background to village life for generations. A few people have gathered in the square, but it is not a crowd. An old man sits on a wooden bench, his face turned up to the sun, his eyes closed. He is not sleeping, but simply absorbing the warmth, a faint contented smile on his lips. You can sense the feeling of the sun on his skin, a deep penetrating warmth that soothes old aches and calms the mind. He is like a plant, drinking in the light. A young woman sits on the edge of the fountain reading a book. It is an old book, its pages soft and yellowed at the edges. Her fingers slowly tracing the words on the page. She turns a page with a soft rustling sound, a sound that is barely audible above the gentle music of the fountain. She's completely lost in her story, her own quiet world existing peacefully within the larger quiet of the square. A child, too young for school, sails a leaf in the fountain's basin, watching with rapt attention as it spins and drifts on the currents. The leaf is a grand ship on a vast ocean. It is caught in a tiny whirlpool, spinning in a slow circle and then released, continuing its journey to the far side of the stone basin. The child's focus is total, a perfect example of living in the moment. For this child, in this moment, the journey of this single leaf is the most important thing in the universe. There is a profound sense of peace here. No one is rushing. No one is busy. They are simply being. They are inhabiting the moment, enjoying the simple, profound pleasure of a warm, sunny afternoon in a beautiful, quiet place. This is the gift of a life lived at a human pace. It is the quiet dignity of making time for stillness, for the simple act of being present in the world. And then, as you are held in this deep afternoon stillness, you catch a glimpse of movement. Far away, high up on the opposite wall of the valley, it is a flash of red against the deep green of the pine forests. It is a train. It is not a loud, thundering machine of the modern world. From this distance, it is completely silent. It is a small, bright ribbon of colour gliding effortlessly along a track that seems to have been carved into the very face of the mountain. You watch, mesmerised, as it moves. It is a silent, graceful serpent, following the contours of the land. It moves at a steady, unhurried pace. It disappears for a moment into the dark mouth of a tunnel, a perfect arch of black stone, and you wait in the stillness. The world seems to hold its breath. Then it reappears, a flash of red emerging back into the sunlight further down the line. It crosses a high, arched stone bridge that spans a deep ravine, its form reflected for a fleeting moment in the stream far below. The sight of it does not disturb the peace of the valley. In fact, it enhances it. It is a reminder that this small, secluded village is connected to the wider world, but in a way that is graceful, quiet, and unobtrusive. The train is a visitor to the landscape, not its master. It moves in harmony with the mountains, a silent, rhythmic presence that passes by without leaving a trace, save for the memory of its bright, silent passage. It is a symbol of a technology that serves life rather than dominating it. As the afternoon deepens, the light begins to change. The brilliant white heat of midday softens, turning into a rich, warm gold. The shadows of the chalet stretch long and dark across the cobblestones of the lanes. The air begins to cool, and the scent of the pine forests on the mountainsides grows stronger. A clean, resinous fragrance drifting down into the village. The gentle rhythms of the day begin to wind down. The woodcarver sweeps the shavings from his workshop floor with a soft, bristled broom. The baker cleans his flour-dusted tables. People begin to return to their homes. The sounds of evening begin. The soft clatter of plates and cutlery from behind an open window. The murmur of a family sharing a meal. The gentle laughter of a child. The church bell rings again, its deep, resonant tones marking the end of the day. The sound rolls across the village and out over the lake, which is now a perfect still mirror of the evening sky. The setting sun catches the highest, most distant peaks, and for a few magical moments they glow with the soft, rosy light of the Alpine glow, a final, beautiful farewell to the day. One by one, warm yellow lights appear in the windows of the chalets, turning them into small glowing lanterns scattered across the darkening land. The village looks like a handful of fallen stars, resting safely in the deep protective cradle of the valley. The last of the light fades from the sky, which turns once more to a deep star-filled indigo. The moon rises over the mountain ridge, casting a soft silver light on the slate roofs and the calm dark water of the lake. The village is asleep. The day is done. It has unfolded with a simple, quiet grace, a series of peaceful moments strung together like pearls on a thread. And in witnessing this gentle rhythm, your own mind has found its own deep, quiet rhythm. You're in harmony with the peace of this place and ready to drift into the deep restorative quiet of the night. The moon rises over the mountain ridge, casting a soft silver light on the slate roofs and the calm dark water of the lake. The village is asleep. The day is done. It has unfolded with a simple, quiet grace, a series of peaceful moments strung together like pearls on a thread. And in witnessing this gentle rhythm, your own mind has found its own deep, quiet rhythm. You're in harmony with the peace of this place and ready to drift into the deep, restorative quiet of the night. Your awareness, now as light and untethered as a wisp of smoke, feels a gentle pull. It is a pull away from the village, away from the warm, glowing windows and the sleeping lives within. It is a pull upward, a slow, effortless ascent into the cool, clean air of the evening. You rise above the slate roofs, above the slender steeple of the quiet church, and drift towards the dark, silent shoulder of the mountain that cradles the town. The village shrinks below you, the warm lights of its windows becoming smaller and softer, like distant, sleeping embers. You follow a faint path, one you can feel more than see in the deepening twilight. It winds its way through the highest pasture, where the sound of the cowbells has fallen silent. The herd is resting now, still and quiet shapes in the gloom, their slow, warm breathing creating faint ghost-like clouds in the cooling air. The path leads you to a small level clearing at the edge of the great slope, a natural balcony overlooking the entire valley, and here, waiting for you, is a single, simple bench. It is made of heavy, dark timber, weathered by years of sun and snow to a silvery grey. The wood is worn smooth, its grain raised like a relief map under your fingertips. It is not a new or ornate thing. It is a simple, solid object, placed here long ago by someone who understood the value of a quiet place to sit and watch the world. It feels like an old friend, a silent, steady companion. It is a place of peace, an invitation to stillness. You settle onto the bench. The wood is cool and solid beneath you, a grounding presence in the vast open space. Before you, the world opens up into a breathtaking panorama. The valley is a vast, deep bowl of shadow. The sun has already disappeared behind the colossal peaks to the west, but it has not yet abandoned the day. A soft ambient light still fills the sky, a gentle grey blue that holds the world in a state of suspended peace. The shadows in the valley are not black, but a deep, rich, velvety blue, a colour that seems to absorb sound and movement. You sit in perfect stillness, a quiet observer of a quiet world. Your own breathing is the only rhythm you are aware of. You are waiting, though you do not know for what. And then it begins. On the very highest, most remote peaks on the far side of the valley, a subtle change begins to occur. The clean white snow, which had been a cold, bluish-grey in the twilight, starts to warm from within. It begins as the faintest suggestion of colour, a hint of warmth in the cold. It is a colour you can feel more than see, a blush that you might mistake for a trick of the eye. But it is real. Then the colour deepens, blossoming into a soft, impossible rose. This is the Alpine glow. It is a quiet, breathtaking spectacle, a moment of pure, transcendent beauty. The light seems to be born from the snow itself, a gentle fire on the cold, remote ice. It is a silent, parting kiss from the sun to the mountains it loves. You watch, and you breathe. Your breathing is slow and deep, in rhythm with this slow, majestic fading of the light. The rose-coloured light holds, steady and pure against the darkening sky. It is a perfect contrast. The warm, living pink of the peaks against the cool, deepening indigo of the heavens. It is a moment of perfect, fleeting harmony. The light seems to make the very snow look softer, turning the hard, wind-scoured ice into something that looks as gentle as a cloud. The peaks are no longer just stone and ice. They are vessels for this beautiful, transient light. There is no sound associated with it. The world is utterly silent, as if holding its breath in reverence for this final, beautiful display. It is a silence so profound, so complete, that you feel you can hear the turning of the earth itself, the slow, silent spinning that is carrying the sun away from your part of the world. This is the silence of altitude, of immense space, a quiet that has weight and texture. The pink glow softens, its intensity gently receding. It does not vanish abruptly, but performs a slow, graceful transformation. It turns to a pale, ethereal lavender. This new colour is cooler, softer, more dreamlike. It lingers for a few long, peaceful moments, a soft purple crown upon the sleeping giants. Then, like a sigh, the last of the colour dissolves into the deep violet blue of the twilight sky. The show is over. The day has officially let go, and in its place a profound and beautiful stillness descends upon the world. The silence deepens, becoming not an absence of sound, but a powerful, palpable presence. It is a silence so complete that you can feel it, a soft weight that calms the nervous system and stills the mind. It is the silence of ancient stone, of a world settling into its deepest rest. The air around you grows cooler. You feel the change on your skin, the temperature dropping with the last of the light. It is a clean, pure cold that sharpens the senses and clarifies the mind. You pull a soft, imaginary blanket around you, feeling a sense of deep, protected comfort in your quiet solitude. The valley below you is now a sea of deep, soft shadow. The village lights are tiny, scattered embers in that vast darkness. From here, they are not individual homes, but a small, warm constellation of human life, held safely in the immense dark palm of the mountains. You look up into the sky. It is a deep, velvety and perfect indigo, a colour of infinite depth. And there, just above the black, jagged silhouette of the western peaks, a single, brilliant point of light has appeared. It is the evening star. It does not twinkle or waver in this clear, thin air. It shines with a steady, serene and silver light. It is a point of perfect stillness in the vast, silent heavens. Your gaze remains on that single star. It is an anchor for your awareness. It asks nothing of you. It simply is. As you watch it, you feel a sense of your own smallness in the universe, but it is a comforting, peaceful feeling. It is the feeling of being a small, quiet part of a vast, quiet and beautiful whole. The worries and concerns of your day seem to lose their weight, to drift away and dissolve into the immense starry quiet. Soon, other fainter stars begin to appear, pricking the dark fabric of the sky one by one. They emerge slowly as your eyes adjust to the deep darkness. A familiar constellation takes shape here, a dipper of pale light there. The sky is no longer a simple flat dome, but a space of unimaginable depth, filled with a silent, glittering host. A gentle breeze stirs, the softest exhalation of the sleeping mountain. It is a current of colder air, flowing down from the high, stony places. It whispers through the dry grasses of the high pasture around you with a soft, rustling sound. It is a clean, cool breath of air, carrying the faint resinous scent of the pine forest far below, and the even fainter mineral scent of cold stone. It is the only thing that moves in this still and silent world. It brushes gently against your face, a soft, final touch, before the deep stillness of the night. Your time on the bench is complete. Your awareness lifts, slowly and without effort, and begins to drift down from the high lookout point. You're not descending back into the village, but towards the great dark mirror of the lake. You glide through the cool, silent air, over the sleeping meadows and the dark, quiet woods, a weightless observer moving through a world of deep peace, drawn to the water's edge. The air grows heavier and more damp as you descend, the chill changing from the sharp cold of the peaks to the deep, resonant cold of the water. You come to rest on the shore, on the smooth, cool stones you felt earlier in the day. The world is transformed. The water is no longer turquoise and sapphire. In the deep twilight, the lake is a sheet of dark, polished obsidian. It is perfectly, flawlessly still, and on its surface a second sky is born. The deep indigo of the heavens is reflected with an impossible clarity, and there, floating in the dark, liquid depths, is the perfect silver image of the evening star. You're standing on the shore between two universes, two identical, silent infinities. Your sense of up and down, of solid and void begins to dissolve. There is only the deep star-filled space above and the deep star-filled space below. The feeling is one of perfect balance, of profound symmetrical peace. More stars begin to appear in the sky above, and with each new point of light a corresponding point appears in the water below. There is no distortion, no shimmer. The reflected stars are as steady and clear as the real ones, creating an illusion of infinite star-filled depth beneath your feet, a slow, silent scattering of diamonds on black velvet. You watch as a faint, ethereal band of light begins to resolve itself overhead, the Milky Way. It is not a solid thing, but a faint stain of light, a soft, luminous river of ancient starlight, a cloud of 1 billion distant suns stretching from one horizon to the other, and its perfect ghostly image stretches across the silent lake, a celestial bridge on the dark water. The air here by the water is colder still. A deep penetrating chill rises from the immense cold depths of the lake. It is not an unpleasant cold. It is a clean, pure and grounding sensation. It quiets the body, slows the metabolism, and prepares the entire system for a deep and restorative rest. The silence here is also different from the silence on the mountain. It is a heavier silence, a damp, weighted quiet that seems to absorb all thought, all feeling, leaving only a state of pure, peaceful being. You listen with your entire awareness, and you can just barely discern the softest, most subtle sound. It is the sound of the water, barely breathing against the shore. It is not the gentle lapping of the afternoon. It is a slower, quieter rhythm, a tiny, almost imperceptible lift of water against a stone, and then a soft, wet whisper as it recedes. It is the quietest sound in the world, the final settling of the day, the heartbeat of the lake in its deepest sleep. You focus on this sound, this liquid whisper, and let it become the rhythm of your own slow, gentle breathing. The moon, higher in the sky now, casts a path of pale silver light across the water. It does not sparkle or dance. It is a smooth, unbroken road of liquid mercury, leading from the shore into the heart of the lake's darkness. This light is cool, not warm. It doesn't illuminate the world in detail, but simplifies it, transforming the landscape into an abstract composition of silver and black. It is the light of dreams, the light of deep rest. You stay by the water's edge for a long, unmeasured time, simply absorbing this profound and perfect tranquility. There is nothing to do. There is nothing to think. There is only the cool air, the silent stars, the dark, still water, and the deep, abiding peace that holds all of it together. Your body feels heavy, relaxed, and still. Your mind feels clear, open, and calm. And now, for the last part of our journey, your awareness lifts from the shore of the lake and drifts, for one last time, into the sleeping village. You move along the empty cobblestone lanes. The moonlight paints the scene in shades of silver and deep, soft shadow. The intricate carvings on the chalet balconies are etched in sharp, dark relief. The brilliant red geraniums in the window boxes are now a soft uniform grey, their vibrancy sleeping until the sun returns. The slate roofs of the houses have a soft silver sheen, like the scales of a sleeping dragon. The village is utterly still. The only sound is the imaginary sound of your own slow, drifting movement. The world is asleep. But it is not a dead or empty world. It is a world full of peaceful, latent life. Behind each darkened window there is a sleeping family, a dreaming mind. And from some windows a soft, warm yellow light still glows. You drift past a window where the light is on. The curtains are not quite drawn, and you can see a small, quiet scene within. A single lamp casts a pool of warm, golden light on a table. A book lies open, face down, left by someone who has just gone to bed. A simple, earthenware mug sits beside it, a faint wisp of steam still rising from its contents. It is a scene of perfect domestic peace. It is a small island of warmth and safety in the cool, dark night. You continue your slow, silent passage through the village. You pass another window, where the light is softer, more diffuse. Through the thin curtain you can see the silent silhouette of a rocking chair, moving back and forth in a slow, gentle rhythm. There is no sound, only the sight of this quiet, peaceful motion. A parent soothing a child, or perhaps an old woman rocking herself into a state of quiet contemplation before sleep. Each glowing window is a small story of peace, a quiet beacon of rest. The light they cast on the cobblestones is soft and gentle, a warm and welcoming glow that pools in the darkness. There is a deep feeling of safety here, of a community at rest, of a world held in a state of grace. You pass the bakery, now dark and silent, its work done for the day. You pass the woodcarver's shop, where the scent of linden wood still hangs faintly in the air. All is quiet, all is well. Your journey is coming to an end. You have travelled from the highest sunlit peaks to the deepest, greenest valleys. You have witnessed the patient work of culture and the gentle rhythm of daily life, and now you have found a quiet corner in the twilight, a place of perfect peace. Let the feeling of this place be your own. Let the profound stillness of the mountain lake become the stillness of your own mind. Let the deep, restorative quiet of the sleeping village be the quiet that you carry with you into your own rest. Let the cool, clean air of the Swiss night cleanse your thoughts, and let the soft, warm glow of the chalet lights fill you with a sense of safety and peace. You are here now, in this quiet corner of the world, and it is time to rest. There is nothing more to see, nothing more to do. There is only the slow, gentle rhythm of your own breathing, in and out. The world is quiet, the world is still, and you are ready for a deep and peaceful sleep. You are here now, in this quiet corner of the world, and it is time to rest. There is nothing more to see, nothing more to do. There is only the slow, gentle rhythm of your own breathing, in and out. The world is quiet, the world is still, and you are ready for a deep and peaceful sleep. Your awareness lets go of the sleeping village. The image of the cobblestoned lanes and the glowing windows dissolves like a dream. You're no longer an observer, floating in the cool night air. You're here. You're home for tonight. You're inside one of the quiet wooden chalets. You're lying in a comfortable, soft bed. The room is simple, and it is filled with a deep, peaceful dark. The only light is the soft silver moonlight that filters through a single clear window. It does not illuminate the room, but it paints a soft, glowing rectangle on the dark wooden floor. The air in the room is cool and clean. It carries the faint, comforting scent of old pine and dry timber. It is the smell of a house that has stood for 100 years, a house that is solid, safe, and still. It is the smell of deep, quiet rest. You are warm. You are wrapped in a heavy, downy blanket. It is a comforting weight upon you, a gentle pressure that tells your body it is safe to let go completely. You can feel its softness against your skin, a cloud of warmth in the cool, mountain air. You feel utterly safe. The thick wooden walls of the chalet surround you. They insulate you from the world outside. The deep, profound silence of the high Alps is all around, but here, in this room, the silence is softer. It is a muffled, warm, and gentle quiet. You listen. You listen past the silence of the room, and you can just begin to hear a sound. It is not in the room with you. It is far away. It is the sound of the stream you saw earlier, the one born from the waterfall making its endless patient journey down the valley. From here it is not a roar or a splash. It is a low, constant murmur, a soft, distant hum. It is the most peaceful sound in the world. It is a sound that has no beginning and no end. It is a sound that speaks of continuity, of the steady, gentle flow of life. Let that sound be the only thing you hear. It is a gentle, natural, white noise. It washes away any lingering thoughts. It cleanses the mind. It is a soft, constant hum that is the lullaby of the valley itself. You do not need to try to hear it. Just know that it is there, a constant, soothing presence in the deep, quiet night. Now, from the warmth and safety of your bed, you let your gaze drift to the window. The square of moonlight on the floor is a soft silver painting. Beyond it, through the glass, you can see the night sky. It is a sky of impossible clarity and depth. The moon is a bright silver crescent, but it does not wash out the stars. In this thin, clean air, the stars are brilliant. They are not faint, distant sparks. They are sharp, clear points of light, like tiny, perfect diamonds scattered on the deepest, blackest velvet. You can see the soft, luminous cloud of the Milky Way, a river of ancient light flowing through the heart of the heavens. You lie here, in your warm, safe bed, and you look out upon the vast, silent, and beautiful universe. There is no need to understand it. There is no need to name the constellations. Simply witness the beauty of it, the profound, silent majesty of the night sky, and feel how that deep, cosmic peace is also right here, with you in this quiet, simple room. You are a part of this peace. The same stillness that holds the stars in their places is the stillness that is settling deep within you now. You take a slow, deep breath. You feel the cool, clean air enter your lungs, and as you exhale, you feel a wave of relaxation spread through your entire body. You let go of the day. You let go of all your thoughts, all your worries. They drift away, like clouds dissolving in the vast night sky. And now your awareness turns inward, following the path of your own peaceful breath, down into the deep, quiet stillness of your own body. Bring your attention all the way down to your feet. Feel the gentle weight of your feet as they rest. Notice the warmth of the blanket surrounding them, a deep, comforting warmth that sinks into the skin, into the muscles, into the bones. A soft, heavy warmth. Your toes are relaxed, each one letting go. Your ankles are soft and loose. All the tension from the day is melting away, just melting away. Your feet are so heavy now, so warm, sinking down, deeper and deeper into the softness of the bed. This feeling of warmth and heaviness begins to flow upward. It flows into your calves. Your muscles feel soft, releasing, letting go, sinking down, so heavy, so relaxed. The warmth flows over your knees, soothing and gentle, and now into your thighs. These large, strong muscles can finally rest, completely. Feel them growing heavy, warmer, softer, sinking down into the mattress. Your legs are completely relaxed now, heavy, warm, still. This peaceful, heavy feeling now pools in your hips, a feeling of deep release, a feeling of sinking into the very core of the bed, held and supported. So safe, so still. The gentle warmth spreads across your lower back, melting away any tightness. Just letting it all go, softer and softer, deeper and deeper, sinking, drifting. Your breathing is slow and easy. You notice the gentle rise and fall of your stomach, a slow, soft, peaceful rhythm. Each breath takes you deeper. Each breath lets you go further. The warmth spreads up into your chest. Your heart is beating with a slow, calm, steady rhythm. The rhythm of deep, peaceful rest. You are so calm now, so deeply relaxed. The feeling of warmth flows down your arms, down to your hands. Your fingers are soft, gently uncurled. Your palms are warm and open. Your hands are completely at rest, heavy and still. Your arms are heavy, so heavy. They feel as though they could melt into the bed, letting go, sinking down. And now the feeling of release flows into your shoulders. Feel your shoulders dropping, releasing all the burdens of the day, letting them fall away. Your shoulders are so soft now, so heavy, sinking deeper. The warmth flows up your neck and into the back of your head. Your head is heavy on the soft pillow. The pillow is a cloud holding you, supporting you completely. You don't have to hold on anymore. Just let go. And now, this soft, peaceful feeling flows over your face. Your jaw is soft and unclenched. Your cheeks are soft. The tiny muscles around your eyes are letting go. So soft, so still. And your forehead is smooth, completely smooth. All the lines of the day have vanished. Your entire body is now held in this state of deep, warm, heavy relaxation. So heavy, so warm, so still. The distant murmur of the stream is a constant, gentle hum. The stars in the sky are silent, steady points of light. The moonlight on the floor is a soft, peaceful glow. You are warm. You are safe. You're completely at ease. Your mind begins to drift. It is a gentle, floating sensation, like a single, soft feather drifting down through the still, quiet air of this room. There is no resistance. There is no effort. You are simply letting go, letting go. The details of the room begin to soften even more. The square of moonlight loses its sharp edges. The darkness in the corners of the room becomes deeper, softer. Everything is gentle. Everything is fading into a peaceful, comfortable blur. Your focus is only on your breathing, the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your chest. It is a steady, quiet rhythm, like the gentle lapping of the lake water on the shore, like the slow, patient pulse of the sleeping earth. In and out, a slow, easy breath. With every breath you take, you feel yourself drifting deeper. And with every breath you exhale, you feel yourself letting go a little more, deeper and deeper into the warmth, deeper and deeper into the softness, letting go completely. The murmur of the stream is fading now, becoming part of the general peaceful silence. The image of the starry sky dissolves, leaving only a soft, comfortable darkness behind your closed eyelids. There is only the darkness, the warmth, and your own slow, steady breathing. You feel a sense of profound peace, a peace that comes from the mountains, a peace that comes from the silent forests and the still, deep lakes, a peace that comes from the quiet, sleeping village. This peace is now your own. It fills your body. It fills your mind. It fills your entire being. You are a vessel of pure, quiet peace. Your body is still. Your mind is quiet. You are drifting now, floating in a warm, dark and peaceful space. There are no more thoughts, only feelings. The feeling of warmth, the feeling of safety, the feeling of letting go, the feeling of deep, deep rest. Your breathing is slow and regular, the most natural rhythm in the world. It is the rhythm of sleep. You're on the edge of sleep now, a beautiful, peaceful and inviting state of rest. There is nothing to do but to allow it to happen, to drift, to float, to let go. The last remnants of your awareness are dissolving, like a snowflake landing on the warm, still surface of the lake. It holds its shape for a moment, and then it simply melts, becoming one with the water. You are becoming one with this deep, peaceful rest, sinking down, drifting away, into a place of perfect stillness, perfect quiet, perfect peace. The mountains are watching over you. The stars are silent witnesses to your rest. The village is sleeping with you. All is well. All is calm. All is peaceful. Your breathing is so soft now you can barely feel it. Your body is so still it feels weightless. Your mind is completely quiet. You're drifting into a deep, healing and restorative sleep. The journey is over. It is time to rest.